guys, how are you? Welcome back to our channel. So today I thought we would do a Q&A because we have not done one in a while, and the last time that we did a Q&A, Dan was drunk.
60% of the time it works 100% of the time.
What are you doing? You're so scared. Get away. Stop it. Oh my goodness.
Which video?
If you guys want to watch that video, I'll link it in the iCards for you. But I figured we would do a Q&A with just me sitting down. I am not drinking alcohol, I am simply drinking club soda. Please sponsor me. I have just spent the entire day cleaning our home, preparing stuff. I have the window open. It's really funny because the window shouldn't be open at all, but for some reason I decided to do a Q&A when we have no one in the home yet. I have the laundry going and I also have the window going. You know what? You girl's gonna be professional. We can do the laundry at a later time, So now that it's nice and calm and quiet, let's answer some questions. Literally have not looked at any of these questions. I don't even know if anyone has asked me questions, so this could be a very short video. If you're not following me on Instagram, please do so at lex.fitzgerald. For your next baby, what names do you love? We have a name picked out for a boy and for a girl. We've had the boy name since Cooper's pregnancy, and we've had the girl name since Willa's pregnancy. We don't have any middle names though. Names that I really love: Silas, Elowen, Indy. Not gonna name our baby Indy though. Evelina, I like that name. Evelina, I think that's pretty. Dan loves Elle, but we have a Willa. So, Willa and Ella, I don't know. I like all the names that like everybody else loves, like Hudson and Thatcher and Oliver, Ford, like a middle name Harlow. That would be nice. I've always loved that name. Okay, can we please be besties? Yes, I just don't know where you live and I need to know your name and then we can be besties. What were your pregnancy cravings for Cooper and Willa, and any predictions for baby number 3? Cooper was blueberry pancakes, and when I say that I straight up cried hysterically one time in this like breakfast restaurant because they were out of blueberries, I like cried, guys. Like I was sitting there pregnant out of my mind. Poor Dan sitting next to me. He has no idea like what is going on. And I'm just weeping in my, hands because they didn't have blueberries and they were craving my blueberry pancakes. But yeah, if I start craving blueberry pancakes again with this next baby, I'm telling you, it's a boy. Cause like, I did not crave blueberry pancakes at all with Willa, and it was just like the most intense craving with Cooper. And then with Willa, donuts like no other. I wanted donuts all the time. I feel like there were some other cravings in there too. Any predictions for baby number 3? No, I have no idea. Hopefully it's something healthy, like broccoli. I'm gonna be 200 pounds again. Implantation tips, 2-week wait tips, what worked for you each time you conceived. I'm gonna make a whole video about this. I did make a video about this already, and I put the volume up way too high on the music so you can like not really hear what I'm saying at all. So I'm gonna take all of that vital information and I'm gonna put it in a new video for you. But yeah, so let me just briefly talk about this. So what worked the best for me was actually trying to kind of hone in on when I was ovulating so that we would know when to be intimate. And for some people, it's like they think they feel it becomes like a chore. Dan and I kind of just like saw it as like a game that we were trying to win. We were trying to win the game of conception. And it was like fun for us to like learn these facts and like see if we get a positive, you know, like ovulation prediction test. And just like, I don't know, it was just, it didn't seem like a chore or like it was too much work. We thought it was fun in more ways than one. Have you had any surgeries or broken bones? Yes. So I had a tumor in my breast when I was 19. That was scary. It was a fibroadenoma though, so it was non-cancerous, but I did have that removed. I had my tonsils and adenoids out at 17. At 20, I had pertussis, which was whooping cough, so I was in the hospital for that. I had mono. My spleen got bigger, but my liver also got bigger too, something like that. And I was like a unique case, and it was like not good. My like organs were getting inflamed. That happened. I think I was like 16. I had a seizure. I broke my knee. But that's it though. I only had like tiny fractures. I've never actually like broken a bone. Like I've never actually like I had like extreme shin splints. That's like basically what happened to my knee. I have an umbilical hernia, so I'm eventually gonna have to get surgery to fix that, but that's gonna be after babies. Gave birth twice, had babies, was in the hospital for that. Do you and Dan do all the hip things, or do you feel like those are lame? What hip things? I feel lame just because I don't know what you're referring to. What's hip? I think we're pretty lame. We're like jaded people sometimes where we'll just like be somewhere and we're just like, that's us sometimes. We tend to stay home a lot. But yeah, like if you're like, we don't like go clubbing. Although I like dancing. I don't know if I'm good at it, but I do like dancing. But yeah, I don't know what the hip things, I don't know what the youngins are doing these days. Yeah, I'm out of breath. What was the worst part of pregnancy? Probably gaining like 70 pounds and then 50 pounds, because I'm 5'2", my whole body cannot handle that much weight, and it was just like, ugh. I really like pregnancy. Pregnancy is fantastic in my opinion. I love baby kicks. I love just like feeling the baby. I also like sushi. Trade-off. I kind of just like pregnancy. Now, the worst part of postpartum, everything. I had, like, I feel like recently, within like the past like 2 weeks, my daughter is about to be 1.5. I just recently actually started feeling normal and not having like debilitating bouts of anxiety and just feeling weird and not being able to look people in the eyes, and just like I have gone through like HE double hockey sticks and back. Like to the point where I never truly understood what actual clinical anxiety felt like. But it is the worst feeling, and it feels like your body is like attacking itself. You know what it feels like? Trigger warning, because this probably would have affected me when I had bad anxiety. So I'm gonna put this like this on the screen when you can fast forward and you can just ignore everything I'm about to say, okay? So when you see this, then it's safe to come back. You know what anxiety feels like? Here's the best way that I can explain it. Imagine sitting in an office. You have the best life ever. You have gorgeous babies and you're so excited to see them grow up. You have an amazing husband. You have just the most beautiful home. You love life. You feel life. You just are so in tune and just so happy. And then the doctor comes in and tells you that you have cancer and you're just gonna die. And that's it. No family, no children watching them grow up. Nothing. You have no control. That's it. Like, you have to say goodbye to the life that you absolutely love. You have to say goodbye to your babies. You have to know that they're gonna grow up without you. You have to know that your husband's probably going to move on one day and find somebody else. Like, getting super emotional right now. Because imagine that suffocating feeling, that just suffocating, that feeling of just not knowing what to do, and your heart is racing and you want to throw up and you just are panicking and you want to backtrack time, and you just can't possibly come to terms with that, and you're just instantly heartbroken and scared, and just, it's just horrible. Take all of those feelings that you feel, those minutes of sheer panic, and then just feel that for no reason whatsoever, like a roller coaster throughout the day. That is what anxiety feels like. Like you're suffocating and you're scared and like there's just, you have no control. And that's what anxiety feels like. And I'm crying because I'm so grateful to not be feeling that way anymore. Like it was just so tiring, guys. It was so exhausting to just feel that way. This video really took a turn. Things escalated quickly. But seriously though, like, whew, that's what it feels like. And it's so bad. It's just so scary. And what made it even more frustrating for me was I knew that it was a hormonal imbalance. I knew that it was like it always would be with my ovulation, and so I would ovulate and then something would dip, and then I would start getting these horrible bouts of anxiety. And then I'd get my period and I would be normal, I'd feel fine. And as, you know, those first few days of my cycle went on, I'd feel better and better and better, and I felt the best right before ovulation, and then I would ovulate and then boom, the cycle would start again. So it was like living in this fear that I was eventually going to, you know, in the next few days, it was gonna happen again, and like preparing myself. And to tell you the truth, what started helping me was taking evening primrose oil. I know it sounds like so crunchy and granola, but guys, evening primrose oil, I was trying anything all natural because I was still breastfeeding Willa. Evening primrose oil, and I was taking magnesium at night. That really helped me like sleeping and just like feeling calm. I wouldn't take anything that would make me actually go to sleep because I have my babies and I need to like be awake when they wake up and stuff. But magnesium kind of just made you like relax your shoulders a little bit more than you've ever felt like you could relax them. That's the best way for me to describe magnesium. And then I was taking vitamin D3, calcium. Calcium's good for your milk too. And yeah, it just like really helped. I'm gonna try to find the video that I talk about all of these things, like how I reduced my anxiety. I spent the whole day going through all the different things that I've done to like reduce my anxiety, and it like really, really helped. It made it manageable. I'm going to get back to hopefully being happy because I feel bad. Okay, so let's go back to our questions. If you have to give up sex, sleep, or coffee, which would you pick? Coffee, because sleep is life, and then like, you know, I'm just leave it at that. What did your family think of Dan when they first met? Honestly, I've never asked this question, but I can kind of tell you, my family's like pretty old school. They don't really, like, while some family members of mine have like tattoos and stuff like that, my dad has tattoos, but like not to obviously the extent that Dan has them. Other members of my family are like very traditional, so when they see Dan, who has like tattoos on his neck and he has tattoos on his hand and stuff like that, like your first, and he's like a big bearded guy who's like really tall, your first impression of him is like and then he opens his mouth and he starts talking, and you realize that this guy is just like the nicest, sweetest, just like coolest person that you can meet. And like my family just instantly fell in love with him. Like even like some people who are hard to please in my family, they just love him. They love him, and I think they just appreciate him for exactly who he is. And I mean, Dan's not a dummy. He's a really mature, really kind, really respectful guy. So, I mean, how can you not respect somebody like that? You win the lottery, what are your first 3 purchases? I win the lottery, my first 3 purchases, and a lawyer, an accountant, and a financial advisor. I literally would first hire those 3 people. But if like my first purchases after that, a home, but not like a gigantic home. It would be like a very manageable, spacious home. I would have all the babies, so it would need to be spacious. It just doesn't have to be like a mansion. I would probably buy a horse because I used to horse ride for like years and years and years and years and years, and I absolutely miss it, and I would love to own my own horse. That would be so great. A new car. I would buy a new car. Not like a brand new one, even though I won the lottery, I would buy because they depreciate the second they leave the lot, I would buy like a pre-leased, like once leased, fully loaded, either the Subaru Ascent, I think it's the Ascent, or I think I would do the Subaru Ascent, but like with like the brown like leather. That'd be nice. If you could give your younger self some advice, what would it be? To be better with money and to do absolutely nothing different besides that, because everything that I did and everything that happened to me and everything that I experienced and the decisions I made led me to my husband and to my beautiful children. And I know that sounds so cliche, but it's so true. Every single thing that has happened in your life, whether it's good or it's bad, has made you who you are today. And you don't know what would be erased from your life if you didn't experience, you know, that hardship, or you didn't mess up. I don't think anyone messes up. I just think that things happen, and sometimes they're good and sometimes they're bad, and there has to be a mix of both, because how do you know good things if bad things haven't happened, and how do you know bad things if good things haven't happened, right? How is Willa doing with her feet? Oh, I'm happy to talk about this. So we are no longer have Willa in PT because she more or less graduated. She is definitely slower to pick up skills than your average baby, but I'm so happy that I went with my gut. Guys, just go with your gut. Your gut knows. You just know. I knew at 5 months old that there was something going on with Willa, and our pediatrician wanted to wait till she was 9 months old. This girl had such bad hypotonia. She had such low muscle tone that she wouldn't even be like crawling right now if it wasn't for the fact that I picked up on it that early. I went with my gut. It was all I could think about. It was all I could talk about. I'm sure my friends wanted to punch me in the throat. Dan probably wanted to disown me because it's literally all I talked about all day long, but it was every professional kept telling me that it was fine, and I just knew it wasn't fine. And finally I just reached down into my mom gut and I was like, no, I want to get her, I want to go to a specialist, and I want to actually get her evaluated by a specialist, by someone who can feel her muscles and just like figure out what's going on. And I'm so happy I did, because I feel like now it's like not even a big deal. She's perfectly fine. She runs around, she climbs stairs and stuff. Every once in a while I do notice that like she still struggles to like pick up one foot, you know, while standing on one, so like standing one-legged pretty much and stuff like that. But those are all things that a hypotonia baby will have issues with. You know, it's gonna take her longer to gain those muscles than any other baby. But yeah, Willa's doing fantastic. Always go with your gut though, guys. Just go with your gut. You know something's wrong. If you could take a dream vacation anywhere, where do you want to go? Probably like Italy, and then Spain, and kind of just like backpack around Europe. That would be really fun. Will you get another dog? We're not gonna get another dog anytime soon. Probably when Cooper and Willa, at least Cooper, are like in their preteens, and we have like our actual forever home. It's renovated and we have ample space for a dog, then we'll probably get a dog. Tips from going from 1 to 2 babies, or 2 under 2, going to have a 20-month gap. That's what Cooper and Willa are. My biggest advice is to maintain your schedule with your toddler. If you don't have a schedule, get yourself on a schedule. Keep your schedule going with your toddler, and then just integrate your newborn into that schedule and have them both on the same schedule, and it made things so easy. It was just like so simple. Also give yourself grace. There's a learning curve there. And make sure you're giving your firstborn a lot of attention too. It's really tricky, but don't give so much attention that you're also neglecting your newborn. And you're probably gonna cry over this, and you're probably gonna get upset, and you're probably gonna feel like you're letting one down, and you're not. You're just in a temporary situation, and you're going to eventually figure out how to make one of you be enough for all the people in your life. So that's just a learning curve. So everyone goes through it. I went through it. I remember crying on the couch to Dan, saying how like I never get to hold my newborn, and then I would, you know, cry on the couch saying how, you know, like I never get to like play with Cooper anymore, or like go out on adventures with him and stuff like that. And it was all just new and different, and now I hang out with both my babies all the time. If you had to pick the gender of baby Fitz number 3, what would you pick? Obviously healthy is first, but I actually, I'm so gonna jinx myself and we're gonna have another girl. It's just gonna happen. But I just would love the idea of having another baby boy. Every time I think of baby number 3, first off, I've nicknamed baby number 3 Baby Bear. I don't know why, I just keep calling him Baby Bear. And I also keep saying it to him. And for those of you who are confused and are like, I didn't know you were pregnant, I'm not. I'm just talking about my future children. This is coming from the girl who literally started writing a book to Cooper on our honeymoon. And I was not pregnant, but I knew my first was gonna be a boy, and I just would call him a boy, and that was that. So yes, I just think that it's a boy. I would love to have another baby boy. If I have another baby girl, we have a gorgeous name picked out for her, and she's just gonna be my cute little side chick. She's just gonna be my side chick. She's gonna be my cute little baby. That's it. So, I mean, I don't care. At the end of the day, I don't care. Nobody cares. If you're a mom, you just like don't care at the end of the day, because your babies, you just want to like smother them, like symbolically. You just want to like mush them with love. But I think I would really like to have another boy. What's a secret hobby or guilty pleasure of yours that you haven't shared already? I actually have something that I have never shared before on our YouTube channel. But if you go all the way back into our videos, you do see a video of me doing it. And the reason that I haven't shared this is because it's very controversial, and I try to stay away from controversial topics. I actually used to, for like 10 years, bow hunt. Yeah. I went through this phase where I was like, hey, I want to try archery, and then I tried archery, and then I was like, hey, I like the idea of the meat that I consume getting to live freely in the world, in its natural habitat, and then like consume that meat rather than consuming meat that has been like literally like born, raised, and killed in like a factory. So in my mind, I was like, any animal that I harvest, I'm going to forever remember and like honor and like thank and think of, and it's like, and then I'm going to consume that animal, and then like you know, I just felt like it was such a better situation, and I still do. Like I still fully support hunting. I don't support trophy hunting. I don't support like trapping. I think that's a really just like horrible way of like just doing that to an animal. That just, it seems vicious to me. Anyway, see, controversial. I have probably people watching like, it's not. I used to bow hunt, and it was something that I really enjoyed doing, in a sense where obviously I didn't enjoy killing things, but I did enjoy sitting in the woods, watching the sun come up, feeling like I was one with nature, and having meat in my freezer that wasn't inhumanely that just had a bad life, you know? So I used to bow hunt, and the reason I keep saying used to is because ever since Cooper was born, I have gone hunting since, but I never killed anything, and I just kind of, I don't know, I feel like since I've created life, I all of a sudden just feel really uneasy about hunting. And hunting was always supposed to be something that was just for myself, like Dan doesn't do it at all. And I'm not gonna do something that I don't wanna do. So I just haven't done it. And I don't think I ever will, to tell you the truth. I don't think I'll ever go back. And it's just because I created life and I have these babies, and I just feel kind of, it just doesn't feel right to me anymore to do it. So, personal reason why, but yeah, very controversial topic. I've never talked about it, never mentioned it, ever, on YouTube. So, there you go. Am I afraid of having multiples? Or would you like to have twins or triplets? Having triplets scares the bejeezies out of me. I'm all for babies, but like I would much rather have them one at a time. Let's put it that way. Like, can you imagine having triplets? I don't have enough boobs. I don't have enough boobs. How do you have a car? Like, what car would we use? And just have 5 kids in car seats. Oh my goodness, that would just be so intense. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm gonna have triplets now. Twins I could do. Twins I could manage. Twins I'm not concerned about. I think my biggest concern would actually be like labor, and I would really love to just like continue having vaginal births and not switch to a C-section. So I think that's like one of the things that I'd be like concerned about. But yeah, triplets on the other hand, you get no YouTube videos. That's what would happen. How do you keep a healthy sex life with 2 kids? Well, it's kind of simple. You just make time for one another, 1, and 2, I sleep trained my babies at 6 months old, so we have always been able to like put them to sleep, and then we have the night to ourselves. We just have like the evenings to ourselves. So, I mean, I don't know like how long you guys are like hours, you might not have that much time, but like you can always make time for one another, you know? That's how. With newborns it's tricky, but then again it's not, because they're just like a sack of potatoes. So you just kind of like, you know. What does a date night look like for you and Dan? We have 2 different date nights. One is we stay inside. Usually we'll like order food and we'll watch a show or a movie. Maybe we'll have like a beer or 2. We were like really into craft beer a few years back. We used to like bartend, serve, and manage at a craft beer bar that was like really popular. So we know like a lot about craft beer and like what our favorite styles are and like vintage beers and stuff like that. So every once in a while we'll like pop open a beer and we'll have a beer together. But usually it consists of like some really yummy food and then like a really good show to watch. And then we're usually like fast asleep by 9 o'clock because we're both exhausted. When we go out, it's kind of like the same-ish. We'll probably find a place that has like good craft beer. We'll find a place that, you know, has like good burgers or something like that. Maybe we'll go get ice cream. Do you see Dan's side of the family often? Yeah, often, like all the time. They only live 40 minutes away. They live the same distance that my family lives away. Are you gonna focus on my face? Thank you. Sorry guys, my battery died. How old was Coop, and how did you guys decide to try for Willa? Cooper was 9 months old-ish, 9 or 10, and then we got pregnant and we had a miscarriage, and then Cooper was 1 around Cooper's first birthday, I think. So we have 2 more left. There's a bunch, but I'm just gonna do 2 more. One's how do you spice up your sex life? Well, for a while there, it wasn't happening. So at this point, anything is spicy. No, you just like, guys, just, it's not like a big deal. Live a little and like be the young, fun, you know, adventurous person that you once were or you want to be, and just make it spicy. There you go. Like, I don't have any advice for you. Live your best life. Be the person that you want to be. There's no like pair of pants that you can't wear, or shoes that you can't wear, or lipstick color that you can't wear, or event that you can't go to, whether it's super formal and you might feel uncomfortable, or you know, you're gonna go like throw axes somewhere. Like, if you want to do it, just do it. You don't have to fit into a mold, you know. Go and put on a beautiful gown and go to that black tie event. Like, go and be sexy with your significant other. Like, just don't fall into a bubble. Be who you want to be, okay? How to live with Lex. That's what I should call this. Was it harder going from 0 to 1 baby, or 1 to 2? 0 to 1, like no other. Oh my goodness. 0 to 1 was so hard. 1 to 2 was actually really easy. I didn't find it to be that difficult. I just was suffering a lot with anxiety and like postpartum anxiety and stuff. If I didn't have that at all, I would have had a significantly easier time. It wasn't Cooper or Willa that was giving me grief. So, how did you overcome the fear of trying to have a baby after a miscarriage? I'm scared. I'm really sorry that you're scared, and I'm really sorry that you've experienced a miscarriage. It's just like the worst. It like messes with you in every way possible. It physically hurts, it's emotionally hurtful, you carry it with you for the rest of your life, and you constantly have those like what ifs. for me, I knew I wanted to have a baby. And I think I found comfort in knowing that I had once had a baby before. I like guarded my heart a lot. I didn't let myself go down that downward spiral of thought. I kind of let those intrusive thoughts stop. And, you know, I also weirdly found comfort in science. So I'd actually follow this little chart where it would tell you every day that you're pregnant what your percentage of a miscarriage is. And I just found it very comforting to read it every day and to know like, oh, I have a 17% chance, oh, I have a 12% chance, oh, I have a 2% chance. And obviously you could always have a miscarriage or a stillbirth. You know, there's never no like safe zone. You even have the baby and then there's like SIDS and stuff. There's just that fear always, whether you've had a miscarriage or not. I think it's just, it feels more real when you've actually lost a baby. You know how hard it hurts, you know, and you know just like the suffering that comes along with it. But I think for me, I just went through the motions and I slowly just kept going. My body redeemed itself there. I went from 0 centimeters dilated to 6 centimeters dilated within an hour and a half. I got to the hospital within 40 minutes. I almost had the baby, literally almost had the baby in the elevator. People in that video, they're like, you didn't almost have an elevator baby. No, there was like 10 minutes between the elevator and me giving birth to Willa. I almost had her in an elevator. We had hit like another light. If we couldn't find parking, if the admitting kept me there any longer, they kept me there for like 20 minutes, guys. I was 6 centimeters dilated, on my way to 7 centimeters dilated. I was gonna be fully dilated sitting there, them trying to put a darn bracelet on my wrist, seriously. But yeah, it was crazy. And I was in the room and I took charge and I said, I feel pressure, I feel like I have to poop, and I feel pressure down there. And I was like, no, like you don't understand, like I'm having the baby, I feel like I'm having the baby. And so the midwife came running in and she like checked me and she was like, you're fully dilated, the baby's right there, you're gonna give birth to her right now. And I was like, I'm going on my hands and knees. And she was like, okay. So I get up on the bed, she's like, no, turn around. Because my head was like where she was. She was like, no, turn around. And I was like, okay. And so like, and then I was like, I need a washcloth like on my neck. I need something cold pushed on my neck. So like they got that and they like put it on my neck. I was just like delegating roles and just like, I don't know. I just listened to my body and I let my body take over and I pushed her out so quickly. And I had this beautiful baby and like, it was all amazing. So your story can change, you know. Just because you had a miscarriage doesn't mean that you're always gonna feel heartache. These things happen. They happen to so many people. It's just something that happens. I've come to terms with it, and there's really like, there's nothing else I can do, you know, than just know that I'm gonna have another baby waiting for me one day. That is it, guys. That is it for this video. It is very long, but I'm going to probably leave a lot of it in just so that we can sit and we can chat and you can play this in the background, you know, while you're doing whatever. Thank you so much for always supporting our channel and for always being a really good friend to me. I really appreciate you guys more than you will ever know. Thank you for always supporting our little family. But that is it for today, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.
The world could fall down, it's gonna be okay. The sun could go out, we're gonna be okay. If all the blue skies fade to gray, we're gonna be okay.